Hi, for my project, I use machine learning to create a spam filter for emails. The resources I used are Google Colab, a spam email dataset, and ChatGPT for helping get the code working. Here's a picture of the dataset website. It's on Kaggle. This dataset has two columns, one of them that says if it's spam or not, and then the other column is the text of the email. Here's a picture of Google Colab. It's like a Jupyter notebook, and each one of these blocks is a separate section where you could put code in and run each one separately. So we have to import the libraries. These libraries let us work with the data set and also to make charts and stuff at the end. We also have to import some functions like being able to split the data into training and testing data. And this is also where it imports the machine learning model I'm going to use called Naive Bayes. Then I'm also adding the stop words function to remove words like a and stuff from the email text. So we have to import the data set. You can import it directly from Kaggle into Google Colab. And then we load it into a pandas data frame. And then it also displays the first 5 rows just to check that it imported correctly. So now I'm printing the column names to see what they're called. We can see they're called text and spam, and then it checks it for null value. So if you see it says 0 next to each of those words, that means we have no null values. And then cleaning the text. So this cleans up the email text to remove lowercase letters, or no, it converts them to lowercase. It removes the numbers and removes punctuation and extra spaces, and then the stop words like the uhs and stuff. Then it has to split the data into training and testing data. It can't use all the data to train on because then it will know what all the data is. So I did 80% that it'll get trained on, and then it gets tested on the remaining 20%. And then it vectorizes it. The model can't work directly with text, so it has to convert it into vectors to be able to process it. So this model, the naive Bayes model, the way it works is it checks for like certain word frequencies and stuff to try to determine if it's spam or not. It doesn't really understand the whole email, like what it's saying. It just analyzes, or it just like counts the number of words that there are. So it's, I don't know, maybe not the best at actually understanding what the email is saying, but it seems to work pretty well for filtering out spam. So then this is the results of the model being tested. This chart here, it shows a chart of like the ones that were spam and the ones that are not spam. It says how each one is categorized. So you see that of the not spam ones, almost all of them were categorized correctly. There was only 3 not spam ones that were considered spam, and then there were 21 spam ones that were considered not spam. But with the spam filter, that's probably better to have more spam ones that get considered not spam instead of having it getting rid of real emails. So anyway, the accuracy was pretty good. It was almost 70 or almost 98%, which is pretty good. And then this is something to be able to add new text to test it on. So you see I have three different texts in the bottom, and it determined that the first 2 weren't spam and the last one was spam. The first one, I mean, it could be spam, but it may not be, so I don't know. It determined that it wasn't spam, the one about winning a free iPhone. So some of my lessons learned here was that I should have spent more time researching and planning this project because I ran into a lot of issues like needing different libraries and processing the data and stuff. I had a lot of issues. So planning that out and kind of learning more would have helped me. Another lesson is if I would have looked into other models, maybe I could have found one that was more accurate. I just used the one that seemed easy to use and worked well, but maybe it could be improved. Another lesson is to try more data sets. I just used the one, but maybe importing a brand new data set and testing it on would have been good because then I could see how maybe like if the data set, I don't know, if the text was all like written a certain way, maybe this wouldn't work well for actually real emails. Maybe it's only good for the data sets emails. So trying it on other stuff would be good. Some of the ways I deviated from my project plan is I originally planned to run Jupyter notebooks on my computer, but I used Google Colab instead. And then another thing is I would plan to use real emails, like importing them from my email into the Google Colab to test the model on, but that didn't happen. And I don't know if that would have really worked anyway, since Gmail filters all my emails, filters the spam out anyway, so I don't think the model would probably have been able to catch any that didn't. But otherwise, things went according to plan. So anyway, that was my project. Thank you.